What's going on, guys? It is June 1st here at the farm. We had a thunderstorm last night. They were calling for some weather, but it was only supposed to be 2 to 3 tenths, and we ended up getting 1 inch and 4 tenths. And I usually sleep pretty good, and this thing woke me up several times through the night. So I'm just down here. We had the pond area almost completely dry and looking good and ready to get the dozer work finished this week. And this rain definitely set us back a few days. So I'm down here getting the pump running again, getting the water out that was that settled in the pond last night. And then while it's running, I'm just down here checking fence. Got to drive down our fancy new, I don't know if you can see it here in the video, but we had some time to kill with the dozer, waiting on some water to pump out. So my buddy Luke cut me a path. It's hard to point on the selfie mode here, but cut me a path through our woods where we get through. But in this shot, you can also see what I discovered down here, and that's this tree, which I can only assume got struck by lightning last night. And the reason I found, I didn't even notice it at first. I was driving over here, checking this fence, and we're in a really wet spot here. Seems like I'm always on a wet spot when I'm talking to you guys. Our ground is wet, but I feel like I probably whine and complain and show a little bit too much of that. So I apologize, but this is a wet spot. And I saw this big splinter of wood on the ground, and it's the perfect length to possibly come off of one of our corner posts. And I'm sitting and I'm looking at it. Let me see if I can get it in the shot here. And I'm like, man, did I hit one of our posts with a tractor and yank off a splinter of wood or something like that? And then I walk a little further and I see a little bit more, and a little bit more. And there's some out in this field right here. And I'm sorry, I'm gonna make you guys dizzy, but so the furthest piece I could see from here, and there may be more out there, but looks like, let's just say that right there. Okay. This is 180 degrees. So bear with me. I'm going to spin 180 degrees. And that's the tree that got struck right there. This is a good 35 yards away. And there's probably more splinters out there, but this old girl got nailed. And it's a big tree. Bear with me, I'm gonna walk up to it. I mean, you can just see on the ground here. She got charred. But I'm a big guy. If you don't know me, I'm 6'4", probably 240, 245, big shoulders. Here's this tree. It's a big tree, and I don't think it's gonna survive. It's a big oak. So at some point, this girl is gonna become a hazard and possibly fall on our fence, on a cow, or worse yet, on one of us. So at some point in the program, she's gonna have to come down. And I think, sorry if I got any bats in the cave, but I think there's another tree right here. I don't know why I'm trying to tell you this, because there's no way I can possibly explain this, but I think we can drop this in a spot. It's gonna be very, very tricky, but I think we can drop this in a spot where it's not gonna tear up fence or any other trees. Actually, no, it's gonna tear up some other trees. I don't know, but it's gonna have to come down regardless. It's gonna have to come down. So anyway, just down here checking stuff out. Thought I would give a little update and show this lightning strike. Just want to show you an update on the pond that is no more, and how this excavation work is going. I know it's really hard to kind of show you guys what's going on, but I am just absolutely stoked with what we got going on here. Luke is doing a fantastic job on the dozer. He filled in the pond last night and tonight. It finally dried out, so he could get in there and not be a big old bowl of soup and get the dozer stuck again. So he got it filled in. They're calling for more rain this weekend, maybe as much as an inch of rain. So we are trying to get everything smoothed out and get the waterway directed. And I'm gonna get down here. I'm gonna get right at the pipe so you guys can kind of see what's going on. I know I've talked about this a bunch of times, but we're finally here. It's finally looking like it's supposed to be looking. So can I zoom in? No, I can't. I'll turn this around in just a second, but the pipe is straight down the levee from me. So all this water comes around this woods and then through here. And before we came down here, we had maybe generously a half completed pond and little pockets and puddles and ditches, and you couldn't drive four-wheelers through it when it was wet. You couldn't mow it. It's a pain in the ass to set up fence around. I mean, this whole bottom area, which has got fantastic silt soil from all the floods and stuff that have taken place here, this whole bottom area is a nightmare to manage. So whatever money that we're spending on doing this is giving us peace of mind, it's beautifying our property, and realistically, we're gonna pick up about 3 acres of grazing down here. So it's worth it to me. I don't know, it's gonna, be a couple $1,000s in dozer time doing all this, so worth it to me. So I will, I'll flip this around and I'll show you guys the water pathway. All right, I can do a much better job now. So again, you can see the fence. That is kind of where the water flows, and it comes in like this. So before, it would fill up the pond that was right there, and then overflow, and it has a ditch cut out. That, again, was just a mess. And you can kind of see the ditch. He hasn't filled that in yet, but it's over there. It's in that green and weeds and stuff. And then it would come around, tie in with this one, and then make a nasty mud mess of this area. So we're setting it up so that water flows. We got this too deep. We don't want water sitting right now, because right now this water is level with the bottom of the pipe. This water is gonna stay here until the sun dries it out. It's not going anywhere, and we don't want that much. We do want a little reservoir down here just to make sure we always have a low spot and it's not muddy in here. The ground moisture always has a place to go. So that's the plan, and it's gonna work as a sediment trap. So he's just kind of putting the final touches on everything. We got the transit out, and believe it or not, from right here to right where that grass is, 2 to 3 feet of rise. So he's just making it a nice gradual downturn. So what's going to happen is this water is going to come in on one of these big rains, and it's just going to fill up this whole area, and then it's going to have time to slowly come down. So we're not going to be having a bunch of velocity coming through here. We're worried about erosion. We really should be able to grow really good grass in here. I am super stoked. You can see how kind of dark, and it's hard to see, but it's loamy too. Some of that soil out there is really good topsoil. I mean, just really, really good. Not all of it. This levee has some poorer stuff on it, which is kind of where we'd like to have some of the good stuff, because gravity is not on our side, but we'll get there. Considering coming in here next week, we got a drone that's gonna fly sorghum, Sudan grass, and grain sorghum. I'll do a video on that later, but into our standing wheat before we harvest it. And that's gonna be our fall, late summer, fall, and winter grazing for our herd. And I'm considering having them broadcast some sorghum, Sudan grass on this area too, and then maybe come and do a very, very light harrow or disc it in, so we get some seed to soil contact. We don't have a no-till drill that can do seed that small at that light of a rate. So the drone is what we use, and you definitely got to incorporate it if you're not covering it with straw, which is what a wheat field is. So that's why we do it that way. Works out fantastic. So, all right, I'll shut up. I'm just excited. This looks great. My buddy Luke is killing it. He's doing a fantastic job. Super stoked. Thanks, guys. We'll see you.